extremely strict what I was allowed to be exposed to. And I remember her telling him to not do certain things around us, which is kind of wild now looking back. And he and my mother were always on the ins and outs. For a few years, they would be very close, and then they would be extremely estranged. My brother was in the military for many years in the mid to late 2000s. He served in the army, and he traveled abroad. I was told later he was stationed in Korea. And anytime he would talk about his experiences in the army, at least in his opinion, was very positive. Of course, looking back, he probably he probably remembers it better than it really was, due to how he enjoyed being away from my parents. But my brother, I don't remember him being religious. I remember him being more secular, normal, and there was a lot of tension between him and my mother. And in the early 2010s, I remember them having, it must have been like their fifth falling out. My mother and him were always fighting, always just on and off. It was a very toxic dynamic. And my brother told, I think it was my mother, that she had been too strict, too fundamentalist, too Christian, which is why he rebelled as a teenager. And then he started to experience medical problems. And he had to have a surgery to fix an issue that seemed to happen to a lot of the guys in our family. And this put a big strain on his mental health. And he started to experience breaks from reality. At least now I know it was more psychosis. And being in the military, it's very possible he experienced trauma due to training and what he saw over in Korea. And he would just get very mad, very agitated, and it did not help the relationship between him and my mother. And about 7 years ago, he experienced what I now know as dementia precox, which is a mental condition where you think people are trying to kill you, or I guess it's extreme paranoia with a lot of fear. And basically he thought Elon Musk was listening to his phone calls, so he was very paranoid. Of course, now looking back, it's quite possible he was right, just not in the psychosis way that he was thinking it was happening. And he was arrested a few times for altercations and just bring a danger more to himself than anything. And he spent a lot of time in medical clinics designed for